Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Kingdom Hearts Final Mix 100% guide. We are just going through the different synthesis challenges in all the different worlds that I did while we were, I won't say wasting time, but while we were passing time to get all the rewards from Neverland's Clock Tower. And right now we're going to just hop back to Agrabah. We kind of had a good discussion last episode of all the general synth items you can get, but what I didn't get to mention was the secret Heartless that was there, which is the Pot Scorpion, and the Pot Scorpion can allow you to get mithril stones. We don't need an overabundance of them, but they are something we're going to have to go and find. And what's super frustrating, I suppose I'll just chat this while we're doing the extra little bit of grinding against enemies and getting different synth items from stuff that we can just find, you know? But what can be frustrating is, in this challenge, like fighting the Pot Scorpion, you have a bunch of different pots, and like a mimic, it is hiding amongst all these other pots. And basically, if we were able to break all of the pots, we would have a chance at getting a mithril stone without even fighting the monster. But I've never had such luck, so I'm going to show you how to fight him. But before we do, let's collect this dark matter. And if we fly over towards the palace gates entrance here, we can pick up a mithril. So don't miss out on those chests now that we have the extra movement abilities. Let's hunt them down. But for now, what you have to do is run at each of the pots. That was very risky, because I hit two by accident. But basically, if you just run up and then lock on, you can basically, if they move, they are not the Pot Scorpion. But if the pot doesn't move, that's the one with the Heartless in it. And then if you manage to break all of the pots, you get a nice boost of experience. And you have a chance of unlocking a mithril stone from shattering that final pot that gave you 100 TP, or EXP. Now, what's tricky about this is this boss fight is all about guarding its attacks. If it gets to hit you, it does damage. And I'm pretty sure the drop rate is in direct correlation to the number of times you get hit, it like goes down. So you really don't want to get hit. And I am sure if it's actually like a part of it, but what I found is if you don't get hit by the poison, I find I would often get drops as well. So try and guard against this stuff as well as avoid poison and taking poison damage, and you can pick up a mithril stone. Okay? So that, with all our other bits and pieces from like using Bambi and collecting stuff in the Cave of Wonders, you can get an awful lot of your synth items done and dusted in Agrabah. It's like really good just because of the variety of stuff that you can get. Now, I'm going to go here, and it's purely just to show you guys that, you know, when it comes to Thunder Gems and Frost Gems, like I have an abundance of them, but we are able to get more by just being in Atlantica, and we can basically hunt down them in abundance without using Bambi. But I feel like and the only reason for this really is because Bambi at the moment cannot generate enough KOs in the different zones in Deep Jungle to get us Thunder Gems in that way using Bambi. We can in a little bit, but just not at the state of the game that we're in now. But basically you can fight a bunch of Search Ghosts for Bright Gems, and you're able to, like, we go 3 for 3 there, like that was crazy good luck. But you can also fight the Sheltering Zones and the Screwdrivers for Thunder and Frost Gems respectively. Now, you'll see there that I have the rare Heartless. You are able to fight an Agaricus in Atlantica as well. It just isn't as viable as being able to do it in Deep Jungle, because Sora has all of his air combo modifiers and things like that. So, just an FYI, but you can get Thunder Gems hunting here and using this method. And then I just showed you as well that you are able to also get frost gems from the sheltering zones as well. So you're able to grind here. I just find Bambi is better in Wonderland, and I feel that you know, when it comes to post-game and like end-game content, if you're really stuck for Thunder Gems, you should be able to get them in Deep Jungle using Bambi as well. But like, you can just do a quick lap from Triton's Palace all the way around to that little clan where we entered Atlantica. And then over in Halloween Town. I was going to say like Spookyville. I don't know what I was going to say there. I just completely blanked on the name. But in Halloween Town you can basically farm lucid gems here. We're getting terrible luck, but like from the sheer amount of White Knights and Gargoyles, all of them drop lucid gems. So just this is, strictly speaking, the best place you can hunt for them. And if you were looking to use Bambi in this area, this would be a very good area, as is the next area here. And you could hunt for power shards and power gems, even though Neverland has the pirates. But like, you know, again, it's like if you just pick certain things to do in certain areas, and you might as well double up your chance of getting synth items, you know. You might as well make it a better chance, you know. So Halloween Town is a land of lucidity. We have lucid shards, lucid gems from all the shadows and stuff. So by all means, you can hunt that here if you don't want to hunt in the Bazaar Room in Wonderland. And I did this off screen, but I feel really bad. Fly over here, you get a defense up here. So I was like, do this, go here. I felt terrible for kind of accidentally getting like a stat up off screen. But what we're also going to show you guys is the secret Heartless here. Now originally, again, this is one of the ones where I'm like, Mithril Stones are easier to farm when you have Eroga. And this particular Heartless as well is much easier to fight and farm when you have Eroga. But I said, no, do you know what, I'm going to just have to challenge myself. I'm going to just have to work on it and just basically get, you know, get good and show you guys how best to farm this other secret Heartless. And I basically just didn't want to use a cottage, so I just warped back and ran around again to get to the Manor Ruins, okay? But basically when you jump down, if you end up fighting a bunch of mummies or white knights, this is a sign that the secret Heartless for Halloween Town is going to be spawned. So once we defeat these waves of white knights, which obviously again is another good way of getting lucid gems on command. Now you'll notice that this Heartless has very little HP and it's going down very quickly. This boss is one of the few bosses in the game that has multiple HP bars and interchangeable HP bars. So what we're currently taking down is his armor, and once that breaks, we then unlock the Heartless's true HP and we can start doing damage. And this is basically Waka on steroids, because what happens is he throws out these 3 little skull heads of different colors, and they will bounce around towards Sora. And the whole thing is, if it touches off anyone, so Sora or a party member, they will get absorbed back into the enemy. And basically what we need to do is attack the heads back into the Chimera, and we get tech points. And as you can see, we're getting more tech points the more times we hit it in. But if it ends up touching Sora or bouncing too many times, it gets reabsorbed by the Chimera, and we have to now defeat its smaller health bar again. And the reason why I say this is so much easier without Donald and Goofy around is that if Donald and Goofy fail to, you know, reflect them back, it just means, oh, instant, you know, hit into Donald and Goofy, and it gets reabsorbed, and then it's just messy. But the annoying thing is that if the balls bounce too long, they just get absorbed back as well. So I'm not really doing the best, and I'm not the best at this Heartless, I have to be honest. But basically, if you were better, and you saw there with the first round that I did it, I was able to hit multiple heads back and get like 30, 40, 60, you know, tech points. And essentially, if you get high enough tech points every time, you will unlock a blazing stone for yourself. And the reason why I would say this boss is so much easier with Aroga is that if you put multiple Arogas on all the party, or just have Sora with Aroga and, you know, summon to get rid of Donald and Goofy, you can just reflect automatically these orbs right back at the Chimera and just cheese the system and get tons of burning stones without even defeating the Chimera. And that's why I would suggest waiting till later. But as you can see, we did get one burning stone from teching multiple times. And a little hop and a jump, that can be a good way of fighting them. So like, practice makes perfect, and that wasn't by any means a perfect run. But we got 2 burning stones from one Chimera fight, so it's not too bad. Now, when I say I don't like the Chimera, this other secret Heartless is an absolute nightmare. So the pirates give us power stones, so that is definitely one of the things that we're able to do. If we wanted, we could summon Bambi, and he would give us spirit shards and spirit gems. The best place for Bambi though is down in the brig, like the underground part of the ship. I say underground of the ship as if like we're not on the ocean. If we went underground we would drown, but you know what I mean. The lowest deck of the ship is a good place to summon Bambi and get an attempt at getting all these power gems and spirit shards and spirit gems. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an elixir into Sora's inventory, and we might need to be using a couple of elixirs here because we need to have a lot of stop magic, because this guy, this balloon guy, tends to fly around. He will always, without fail, drop a dazzling stone or 2. The problem is where he drops them. If we aren't close enough and don't have a high enough treasure magnet, they will just fall into the sea, and they are uncollectible then. So what I found is that if we just use Genie's Showtime, as well as stopping him in good positions like this over the ship, Genie can do massive damage, and I'm able just to keep on spamming stop, throwing an elixir, and then trying to stop him when he's over the ship and trying to push him over by the ship while Genie can do DPS for me is 100% a really, really good way, I feel, of trying to make sure that he's over the ship when he explodes, and then our lovely dazzling stone lands and we can collect it. Now, as I say, this is the only Heartless that has a 100% guarantee of dropping stones. 100% will always drop them. And essentially now we're into our 20th hour. We're about to collect hour 8, and we've every other hour collected. So with that, we're now going to move on because we've gotten every reward from the clock tower. I'm going to put an overlay on screen listing every hour and what the rewards are, just in case you don't really care and you're just like, listen, I don't want to have to spend 12 hours checking back and forth. But I would suggest, if you are going to do this, that you do it before finishing Hollow Bastion, because that enters endgame, and endgame is some scary stuff. So I'm just saying, for ease of access, without giving any spoilers away, ease of access, just do your synth grinding now. There's no reason why you can't. And as I say, I kind of end up with 4 AP after, you know, getting AP ups and different bits and pieces. So I'm like, oh, let's just throw on some more abilities. Tech boost from more EXP. And yeah, now that we've collected all 12, we can kind of leave the clock tower now and go about our business. And our business, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be crafting a ton of really powerful, really rare late game accessories, because our items are full. Like, we have all high potions. We have like a max stock of high potions and potions. We have 99 potions, 99 high potions. That's all from Bambi. Bambi just dropping potions and high potions like there's nobody's business. And then we have like 69 lucid shards. I'm going to have the list up here in a second. But we legitimately have so much items there. So yeah, it's up on screen now. Like, we have 70 lucid shards, you know, all these different bits and pieces here, all in green, because we have enough. Now, you will notice that, like, in some cases, like, you can very quickly see what Heartlesses I don't like fighting, because, like, Sniper Wild, very small amount of extras there. Same with the Pot Scorpion. Don't really like fighting him without Eroga. The Black Ballad I despise. Despise that Heartless, that whole like chasing round. I'm just going through the list here so we can look at it. But this list actually, guys, this is all we have left to collect. This is everything that just wasn't completely completed. So like Dark Balls, Wyverns, Stealth Soldiers we've never come across, the Chimera we have now. So like, you know, only a few more fights with him. Wizards, so like it's all the Hollow Bastion Heartless, and then a couple of other guys that are a bit rarer, as well as like just hunting down some treasure chests. So, you know, not too bad. But literally, when you look at things like power chains and like these sort of recipes, there's so many we have. Like, when we get to make ourselves the EXP earring, really powerful accessory. Like, is literally meant to be one of those like late game ones where you're like, oh, I'm just trying to get some levels, so let's equip this EXP earring to get more levels more quickly. And of course we're going to use it. Like 100% we're going to use that. So we have like the EXP ring and EXP earring, just to like massively boost our EXP gains. Going into Hollow Bastion, going through multiple fights, like there's no spoiler there, we're at like an end game world. Multiple boss fights are going to be coming up, and we're going to be getting juiced up experience for all of them. So that's absolutely amazing. And now that we have all 12 crafted, we're going to unlock the next stage of the synthesis menu. So now we have 6 more recipes. Let's drop on down. So in general, it's like healing item, defensive upgrade, HP upgrade, strength upgrade, magic upgrade, a collection of all of the above upgrade. And now we have stat ups. So we have AP up, a defensive one, a HP one. We get an achievement as well. A strength boosting item. Just a mithril. Oh, now you see, you're after throwing me off now. But once we make a certain number there, we end up getting the Encounter Plus ability. Now, what that does, guys, is that normally, let's say for white mushrooms or for any enemies, really, we had to go 2 screens away in order to respawn them. With Encounter Plus, we just have to go and come back, and there's a chance that they'll all respawn. Oh no, they will respawn. But for the likes of like Special Heartless, we don't need to go 2 screens away. We can just run in and out just to make it that bit quicker. But it's now when we get to the 18 pluses, like the 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 list, that things get really expensive, really interesting. So we have like Defense Up, 3 stars, Heart Guards, and they're all just items that are, you know, with the end game Hollow Bastion enemies. But Atlas Armlet, absolutely amazing accessory. We can make it, so let's make it. And again, Power Crystal, Lucid Crystals, like Crystal Crown is like all the late game stuff. So mad money. But Atlas Armlet gives 2 MP to the character wearing it, as well as a massive boost in defense. So look, Ray of Light for Sora, really useful accessory. We've been using it like since we unlocked it. And now that we have Yeah, you see the Moogle badge is like a bit of HP, bit of MP, bit of AP. You know, it's really good. But the Atlas armlet is like plus 2 MP and a bunch of defense. So our defense goes from 31 to, I think 33, yeah. So 2 MP up and then 33 defense. So once again, like really when you think about it, our initial stats were 3 and 3 in defense and strength, and now they've literally just come up 30 points in all of our leveling and stuff. And then our MP has now reached 13, so we've gotten 10 extra MP since the start of the game through level ups and equipment and whatnot. And obviously we're going to be equipping like the EXP earring and stuff like that. But that's pretty much going to be our episode. We are suited up and ready to take on Hollow Bastion once again. So now that we've gotten all our gear, let's take our winnings, our mass amounts of money, and go rescue Kairi. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.